takeover. Just had this crazy idea that I wanted to go and do a solo camp on my own for the first time ever, and so here I am. We chose the Naze at Walton mainly because James knows it really well and we've camped here before, so I know it a little bit. It's pretty empty, there's not many people around, and James is like 1.5 miles that way just in case. Bless him. I think he's a bit worried about me on my own, so he's camping in Little Red back up the beach. So if I have any emergencies, I've got a backup plan, but I think we'll be alright. I set up my tent now. I've got the OEX Fox 1 that I purchased from Ben from London Outdoors. I lovingly call it the tent coffin because that's basically what it is. Very small space that's a tent. It took me a lot longer than I care to admit to put up, and lots of swearing. So yeah, and then just faffing around with the stuff that goes inside. Every single time the wind could get me, it did, so it pretty much just threw everything around. The outer of the tent, my sleeping bag, my Traverse OEX mat, everything. So lots of swearing, but it's a beautiful place, so that makes up for it. This filming thing is new for me. I'm usually behind the camera, not in front of it. So see how we get on, shall we? I'm going to have a beverage now and try and sort some food out. So James kindly bought me a French MRE, so I've got that. Well, part of it is 24 hours, so I haven't brought the whole thing because it's a bit much. Like, I couldn't believe how much you actually get in one pack, so I've only brought, like, obviously dinner, breakfast, and some snacks and a soup just in case it got cold and I needed something hot to drink. A bit different. So I'm going to try and set up the little stove that comes with it. Never done one before, so it is first time for everything. Popped my cherry at wild camping and French MRE, so fingers crossed. Just readjusting my light because, God, nobody told me it'd be such a pain in the arse to do the lighting for this kind of stuff. Bought my own storm matches with me. You can see. Just in case you had any doubts about where it came from. Got a little Eiffel Tower on your matches, just in case you weren't sure. Well, they're a bit shit, aren't they? This is my unimpressed face. So I've gone for backup plan. Plan B cooking situation, because that thing, which you can just see over there, yeah, those bloody things do not light. There might be a knack to it. Clearly I don't have that knack, so I'm going with tried and tested little Trangia burner. Best, much better than those things. So hopefully at some point today, probably at midnight, I'll be eating this. So I just tried to open this. Francie let me down, you know, and the tabs come off, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to open it. So I managed to use my spork, titanium spork, to push the lid in because the tab just came off. It didn't even try, to be honest. So not massively impressed so far. It better taste bloody good because it's been a massive ball ache to just get to this point. But clearly the Trangia burner's doing its thing, because I can hear it sizzling away. So hopefully it tastes nice and doesn't give me the shits. Got no idea how long to cook it. So, watch this space. I've got no idea what I'm doing. Sand on everything. On everything. You said beach camps were a great idea, James. Alright, I've got no idea what I'm eating because I can't see. I mean, it's not bad, considering. Like, is it worth the hassle I had to go to get it to cook or heat up or whatever it's been doing? Not entirely sure. There's quite a strong kind of cheese taste. I'm not entirely sure if it's meant to have cheese in it. That's what it has. I mean, I lived in France for 4 years, so I guess I've been spoiled a bit with actual French food. I'd take a British MRE chicken biryani massively over this. Of course, because you're cooking it in the actual tin it comes in, which is pretty packed full, there's a tendency to like stick to the bottom. It's not really burnt, but it's not, I don't know. So I should probably chat about why I'm doing this. I've been camping on and off probably since I was about 15. I mean, we used to go for like family holidays, Euro camps, that sort of stuff. That doesn't really count. I did Duke of Edinburgh Silver and Gold. Absolutely loved it, and to be honest, the only reason why I did it is so I could do the camping part. Wasn't really interested in doing the rest, like the skill and the charity. I shouldn't say that, but it's true. I wanted to do the expedition, I wanted to do the camping, but I wasn't massively interested in the rest of it. And then I did some camping after that, and I've sort of done it on and off. But I'd never really done wild camping before. I really wanted to, but just didn't really know where to start. And if you don't know anyone else who is into that, it's really difficult to then, like, I don't know, like, I don't think I would have had the balls to just go, hey, I've got a tent, I'll just go and rock up to the beach and camp, not ever having done it before, knowing what I'm doing. And that's really where James came in. That's kind of how we got together, because he had his woods that he goes to, and he put on Facebook, does anyone want to go down to the woods? I'm going this weekend. And I thought, well, I don't want to sort of write on there because I might come across as a bit too committal. So I just contacted him privately and just said, oh, you know, do you have permission, or do you just go anywhere, or what's the deal? Not really necessarily planning to go with him, but just thinking he might be able to give me some advice about how to go about getting into it. And then he actually invited me to the woods, not that weekend because I was away, but a following weekend. And so I did. I went. It took me, I won't lie, initially I was a bit not sure. I hadn't seen James for a while, probably about a year since I'd seen him, and in that time he'd split up with his ex-girlfriend and various things, and so I wasn't sure. And I thought, do you know what, I want to know how to do these things. I want to know how to light a fire without, like bushcrafty type stuff. I wanted to know all that stuff, and I wanted to learn from someone who clearly knew what he was doing. So I thought, I'm just going to go, see what happens, and if it's not for me, then I don't have to do it again. I don't have to commit to it. And it turned out we had a really good time. I really enjoyed the wild camping and the bushcraft, and like learning how to make a fire without, matches and a lighter, which is what you usually do, and how to build it, and all these different types of fires that you can have. I still don't know what I'm doing, but it was nice to learn from someone who's clearly quite passionate about it. And then not long after that we became a couple, and here we are, like two and a bit years later. Sorry, James, I can never remember how long we've been together. It feels like a really long time, but in a good way. So yeah, back to the reason why I wanted to do the solo camp. So obviously I've got James, who's quite happy to go camping whenever, wild camping, not all weathers, but most weathers. So I don't really need to do the solo camp, but it's kind of for myself. I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to have some time out on my own to see if I could do it. So far so good, fingers crossed. And I've had quite a lot of, lately I've been struggling a little bit with my mental health. Just not home stuff's fine, just work has just kind of, the last year and a half or so, 2 years, it's just taken over my life, and it kind of stopped me doing the things that I loved doing, and I saw some of the friends that were involved in that less, and it just got to a really bad place. And it's not something I've ever had happen to me before. So when I took some time off work, I thought, 2 weeks, just take 2 weeks, and after that I'll be fine. I'll go back and it'll be like nothing happened, and I'll be back to how I was. How stupid was I? How naive of me to think that. I've actually been on and off for a lot longer than that. I'm still working on it, trying to get back to work. It's not a massively comfortable place for me to be. I've always worked. I've always kind of prided myself on having quite a good work ethic. So this is a really weird place for me to be. But on the upside of that, I've been out in the outdoors a lot more. We've done more walking. We've done more camping. I'm clearly camping tonight here. Not something I would have done if I'd had to come from work, because I finish work at 6 usually. And obviously it's pitch black. I've just looked at my watch and it's 10 to 6. And there's me thinking it was like 8 o'clock. Yay! Don't you just love winter? Isn't it great? So yeah, I'm here really to challenge myself and to sort of take some time out on my own to try, like, almost leave myself with my thoughts and try and come away with it with a positive experience. I mean, I've been battling with my tent and obviously my MRE. The pin thing came off, and but I can do this. You know, James is only up a mile and a half. I don't really want to walk a mile and a half in the dark, but if I really am desperate, then I can do that. It's like my little Plan Z. Yeah, so I'm gonna kick back for a couple of hours, enjoy a cider. I'm not going to do a review because that's Tom Outdoors' thing, but I've had this before and it's really nice, just an Adnams Wild Wave cider. It's actually quite a lot of light from the moon. I mean, not enough to cook a crap French MRE, to be fair, but quite a lot to sort of see around and see what, like, my surroundings. A lot of lights in the distance. I think that's Walton. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know this area that well. So I'm in the tent coffin, because let's face it, that's basically what it is. I suppose it's kind of a glorified tent bivvy bag thing. I did think about doing this in James's Dutch hoop bivvy. Something I've never actually tried before, so maybe that's next time. The reason why I didn't is because I haven't really had a lot of experience with it, and even though he says it's really easy and I kind of wanted to know what I was doing before I just toddled off up the beach on my own to just try out something I'd never set up before. So maybe next time, we'll see. So yeah, I'm in the tent mainly because it was getting pretty cold. I had all my layers on, but including my hat, the new hat. It's getting cold. Didn't want to sit on the beach particularly, so I was just standing around drinking my ciders, which are now finished. So I figured I'd just come and chill out in the tent for a bit. I've got a variety of snacks. I've got nougat or free from the MRE, French MRE pack. Ooh, I've no idea what it's going to taste like. I've got a Bar Commando Cafe, which I'll probably save for the morning because I don't think coffee at night is a really great idea. And I've got Noir 70%, which is dark chocolate. And then somewhere, I think I've lost it. Somewhere in here, I've got some Sweetheart sweets, which are not from the MRE, funnily enough. I just had them and I thought, Joe, I'll take them with me, why not? So I've got to dig them out. They're somewhere in the tent. Kind of just chucked everything that was going to be in the tent while I was trying to sort out my food. So yeah, so I'll get back to you shortly with the next thing. I don't know, I'm making this up as I go along, to be honest. I'm sure most people who do this sort of thing have a clear idea of what they want to do, when they want to do it, and what they're going to talk about and various things. And I don't. I just make it up as I go along. Oh, why not? This Noir 70% a go. I'm sure it's fine. It's just dark chocolate, isn't it? Nothing particularly exciting about it. Very hard. Wow, very hard. I mean, it's dark chocolate, so what is there to say about it, really? Apart from it's really hard. And then we've got this nougat or fruit nugget, as people in England say. No, nugget. I've always called it nougat. Can't get into it. I've got warm hands as well. It's not like I've got really cold hands. Jesus. Oh, it is actually nugget. Or nougat, whatever. It looks like this. That's really nice. I could eat 10 of these. These are really good. Really sweet, but really nice. 10 snacks. Courtesy of France. I found my love hearts. Yay! So these keep me entertained for about 5 minutes. I mean, God, when you go have a solar camp, what do you guys do on your solar camps? Like, especially in the winter, or autumn winter, because it's dark by like 4:30. And then there's like, I did think about bringing a book, but then I was like, my book get trashed in the sand, and oh, this is a weird love heart. There's no text on it. It's just like an emoji. Now, I don't know if I'm old school, but I've never seen a love heart as an emoji. They usually have text on them. The hell is that? I mean, they still taste the same, so I suppose that's something. I'm sure you all subscribe to James's channel just to watch me eat love hearts. It's love. Not with this tent, it isn't. I definitely prefer a bigger tent. I have actually got my eye on the hex tent that Wiltshire Man has in his. I don't think he uses it that much. He used it on his West Highland Way walk, and I was so impressed with it. It just looked like the perfect one-man tent because you get a little pod, you can sit up in it, you get a decent sized porch, so if it's pissing down rain you can still do your food inside the tent, whereas with this you're a bit restricted really. You can't really do, if it's raining there's no chance you ain't eating. You'll be eating cold food basically, because you can't do anything. There's like a tiny porch, but you can't cook in it, no way. Just so you know, another emoji. Weird. You weird young people and your emojis. It's a bit of a weird one. Sorry. Okay. This is more like it. Kiss me. I've now got Love Heart crumbs on my pillow. So that's great. I've set my alarm, so I'm hoping that I'll catch the sunrise because it's such a great place for it. Although to be fair, if I'm stuck in the coffin tent, I'll probably sleep early, so I'll wake up early anyway. But best to be prepared, so I'll set my alarm. Sunrise is at 7 tomorrow. Probably the only plus about the clocks going back is the sunrise is a little bit later than in the summer, because nobody fancies getting up at 5:30 in the morning to see a sunrise. I certainly don't. But 7 o'clock is actually a doable time. Tonight I've got my silver foil mat on the bottom, foil up. Then I've got my OEX Traverse, and I learnt from last time, so no farty noises tonight. I've got it inside a fleece bag liner. The bag liner is brilliant, but with this Snugpack Elite 4 sleeping bag, we just don't need that inside as well because it's just too hot. So I kind of give off quite a lot of heat when I'm sleeping anyway, so I warm up quite quickly. I mean, I'm pretty warm as it is now, and I'm not in my sleeping bag, I'm like under it. So anyway, I've got the Traverse inside the fleece liner, which means no farty noises. So that's good. So every time I move, I'm not going to get woken up by loud farty noises. Then I've got my Van Gogh pillow, blow up pillow again. It was so comfortable last time, I'm really chuffed with it. Just a bit more money and you really do get a decent pillow. Because I was looking at Sea to Summit, which I may still purchase, I haven't decided, but that's quite a bit more money. It's like 30 quid or something. It's kind of like shaped in like a dish, almost like a soap dish really, but blow up, and so it kind of wraps around your head. But actually the Van Gogh pillow that I've got is pretty decent, so I might just stick with that for now and then see how I get on, and maybe one day I'll get the Sea to Summit. Depends what's going on with this one. But I didn't get neck ache or anything with this when I was up in Fritton Woods with Hardy and James and Bella the dog. So yeah, I was quite chuffed. And then yeah, as I said, I've got my Snugpack Elite 4 sleeping bag, which I'm currently underneath, not in, because it is pretty snugly warm. And I don't really like being cooped up inside a bag. I know that's kind of not the point of a sleeping bag, but you know, you're meant to be inside them. I find them quite restrictive, and I like to be able to move around. Even if I start in it, I usually end up unzipping it in the night anyway. And I'm pretty snugly warm in this tent, especially with the fleece liner on the mat, with the mat in it. That definitely blocks out quite a lot of cold from the ground. It's about 7:15. Just watched the sunrise. Something I never get tired of doing, especially in this place because it's just so beautiful. There's nobody here. It's quite desolate. All you've got is the sort of sound of the various birds and geese and ducks that sort of live in this area, because I'm right next to a nature reserve, and the sea. And it's perfect. I was trying to get some food going and get some tea sorted, something hot. It's bloody freezing. My fingers are like little ice cubes. even though I've got mittens on. And obviously every time I have to do stuff with the camera, I have to take my fingers out of the mittens and then they freeze instantly, so that's fun. Got this morning, another French MRE gift, so we'll see if this is any good. It's pretty basic. I've just got to add 100ml of water and let it sit for a bit. Although, these packets, they never do what you need them to do. Got the transient burner going. I'm just waiting for it to bloom so I can put my kettle on it. There it goes. Don't know what this is doing. I feel it's going to be really dry and crab, but we'll see. Then I've got Supreme Matcha Green. I do like normal tea, but just lately I went over to this because it was caffeine free and actually really like it. Never thought I'd say that, but it's pretty good. So I've probably got sand in everything, so sand and matcha tea. See how that goes. There it is, in all its glory. I'm not really a muesli fan, so we'll see what it tastes like. It's got little tiny bits of chocolate, like little balls of chocolate in it, which is probably a saving grace, really. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't choose to eat muesli myself. I prefer like something hot. It's getting better actually as it goes down. I don't know, I think maybe all the sweeteners at the bottom. Who knows? Got a boil on now. Cup of tea awaits. I've never been so excited about a cup of tea in the morning as I have like today. It's so cold. So I'm all packed up. All I've got is that little tiny black bin bag which came with the French MRE. I'll just strap it to my bag when I'm ready to go. Just got my cup of tea that I'm enjoying. So when I've finished with that, I should put my tea bag in there because I forgot to put it in the bin. And then I'll be on my way and meet up with James and Bella. I'm all packed up, ready to go. One dog walker, 3 GSDs. They're all very friendly. I'm about to go and meet James now. This has been a really positive experience. I'm really chuffed that I managed to do it. I've had lots of comments saying that I'm quite brave to be doing this. I don't know, I'm not sure brave is the word I would use. Maybe a bit mad, I don't know.